Hello! Now for this video update on the Toyota Corolla Touring Sport that I'm running as a long-term test car for Autotrader. I just thought I'd demonstrate how to drive one of these Toyota hybrids and maximise your fuel consumption. I've been running the car for 6 months now and I've found that my fuel consumption has been improving over that time, partly I think because the car is loosening up a bit. Like a lot of Japanese cars, they seem to be a little bit tight to begin with, the engines on them, and they definitely improve for economy with a few thousand miles on the clock, and now with nearly 8,000 miles on it, this car is definitely getting more economical. It might just be the fact that I'm learning how to drive one of these Toyota hybrids a little bit better. Now that's helped by this central display here, which gives you a readout of how you're driving the car and which power source it's using, whether it's powered by the petrol engine or the electric motor, or as we are here on this nice downhill stretch of motorway, whether it's actually recharging the battery. So as you can see in the central binnacle here, I've got my MPG 42 at the moment. That's not particularly good. I've had well over 50 for sort of long steady motorway journeys, but if I go to I can replicate this display down there, and you can see that it just gives you a really handy graphic for how the car's running to kind of give you a hint on how you might improve your economy. So at the moment, as I say, I'm on a nice downhill stretch of motorway at about just shy of 70 miles an hour, and that means that, as you can see from the arrow here and here, the electric motor is being used as a generator, and it's actually putting charge back into the battery. Now the Corolla is not a plug-in hybrid, so even when the battery's full, it will only do a mile or two, if that, on pure electric power. But if you're smart about the way you drive it, I've found over a long journey you can actually eke out quite a bit more battery power and spend more time on the electric motor. And certainly at kind of 60 miles an hour like this, like when you're going through a lot of the roadworks and things like that, it trundles along in electric power perfectly happily. So if I just accelerate a little harder, you'll see now the petrol engine is cut in, now battery power and the petrol engine together. So that's because I've squeezed the throttle a little bit, and you find yourself, that just reminds you just to back off on the throttle a little bit. If I do that now, then you see it reverts to going battery charge into the battery, and now it's gone to electric power, purely electric power. And as you can see, it's quite happily running on electric power at just shy of 70 miles an hour there. It'll do that on downhill with a tailwind for a mile or two, and that really helps your average economy over the space of a longer journey. So as I say, with this car, it's very much a case of me learning to drive it more economically, and because of the kind of car it is, it encourages you to drive that way. And really, I've been finding that basically what you get out of this car, it's a 2-litre petrol engine, but you're basically getting, with the electric motor assisting as well, you're basically getting the fuel consumption of a diesel engine, which is quite an appealing combination. Obviously it's quieter, the fuel is cheaper, and all the rest. So there we go. I hope that little update was some useful insight into the Toyota Corolla Touring Sport. For more long-term updates, just check on the tab on the Autotrader reviews page, and you can find out